Hey everybody, it's Mimi. It's Mimi's Global Cafe. Welcome to the Global Cafe. I'm so excited to be here today with Archie Bell from Archie Bell and the Drells. And also we have a special guest, Dave Herrero, who toured with Archie from like 98 to 2004. So we are
Yep.
going to have so much fun today. Thanks you guys for joining us.
Pleasure to be
Absolutely.
here.
Yay! So Dave and Archie, when's the last time you two saw each other?
I think when you
So
brought Archie up for
last
Fitzgerald.
year at the American Music Festival in Chicago, I was there last year. So I got a chance to see. We
Excellent.
got a chance to see each other.
Yeah. And we hadn't seen each other in about 15 years up until then, right?
Yeah, we went over to Bosnia. Went over to Bosnia and Herzegovina and everything. But we had a great time. Beautiful trip.
Yeah,
That's
that was
excellent.
something else. That was something else, man. It was life changer for me because I was, I think, 22 years old.
22.
Yeah. About
No
15.
you say you call it baby face.
That's what I call you. I told you call you baby face. Look like you were 13 years old.
Did Archie, did he have all that facial hair?
Who
Nope.
did that? Did I have? No, Dave.
No, I'm talking about Babyface over there. Look at that. He's got a beard. He's got gray in his beard.
Yeah, getting old, Archie.
Me too, and everything. But he didn't have no facial hair. That's why I called him baby face. He didn't have any facial hair.
He
Yeah,
probably
we had
couldn't
some
even grow
fun.
any.
It was close, man. I tried. I remember I tried a little mustache, but didn't work out too good.
So how did you two end up meeting? How did you end up playing with Archie?
I guess through Robert Ramos, bass player.
Yeah, Robert Ramos, the bass player. I saw Robert in El Paso not too long ago, David.
You did
The shooting they had in El Paso, he's raising money for children whose family got killed, whose parents were killed, and he was playing with Little Joe.
Yeah, he's been working with Little Joe quite a bit lately. Little Joe and La Familia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Little Joe just put out a book or something about his life.
Yeah.
Yep.
You go and tell her how we met. We went to Bosnia with the 3rd Cavalry out of Killeen, Texas. And he was one of the guys that was performing. Before then, we traveled and did some work around the United States, North, South Carolina, Alabama, Georgia,
So did you tour in the States with him also, Dave? Or
yeah,
you did this?
I remember we did a bunch of road work. And it was cool how we traveled. Like the band would be in a van, Archie was riding in a big old Cadillac. Remember that, Archie?
Yeah.
Yep. And we would hit we hit Huntsville, Alabama. We hit Virginia Beach, Virginia. We hit Louisville, Kentucky. We hit a bunch of spots. We had a good time too.
Great time.
Yeah, Archie always taught me, man, like if you're going to be on stage, man, have a party and it becomes infectious and it just goes out into the crowd from there.
Well, whether there's 10 people or 10,000, give them a show, give them a good show, give them a great party.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you're like the classic entertainer. You've got it all. You've got like the dance moves, you've got the silk sweet voice, you've got the kind of attitude. You're like the whole package of an entertainer.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And you give it. The fun thing is that you give it to the audience, right? You're not keeping it a secret. You're like spreading the love.
Well, when I come to town, the party is on. Ain't that right, Dave?
That's right. It always was, always will be.
So you got to tell what happened in Bosnia. It had to be a wild ride going to Bosnia.
We saw too much at that point. We saw so much.
It was too much of war. They was just finishing a war over there. Had a war,
Mm-hmm.
And they had places that people were still in houses. They find people a year later dead, a year later in houses.
Yep, and I remember they had one of the, you know, I mean, because there was just a huge civil war, so we had gone over there, and I remember seeing like houses that were completely like, you know, the front of it would be completely blown off, and they would just hang a tarp in front, and they continue to just live and do their day to day. And we saw graveyards that had just been like demolished by tanks and devastated with high fire. Like,
You know, I still wrote that. I still got that song that we wrote called "Bullet Holes in Tombstones" in the
tombstones,
graveyard.
yeah.
Had bullet holes and mortar rounds and everything, all the buildings, and you can tell the new houses they had the red with the red shingles on them and everything, but the old houses had the you know, the green moss and stuff on it too, you know. But it was like a eye opener, and people walking around with the animals tied tethered to them, because if they left the animals up by themselves, they would end up fast food like barbecue.
Yeah.
So they were walking around with their animals, so
Yeah.
that they're
Just like on a leash, you know, like the cows and the horses, because if they left them alone, well, then somebody would get them and, you know, kill them and eat them.
Right. Yeah, it was incredible to see that kind of devastation, and just to know like how secure we had it back in the day back here in terms of like Civil War.
You couldn't walk on the sidewalk. They had walkways built where you walk on. You couldn't walk off those walkways because you might step on a mine, you know, a landmine or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that all the military bases had places where you could walk on like a built sidewalk.
Yeah.
So then what was the purpose of that tour then? Did it just happen to be that you had tour dates there, or were you there in just to tour for the military?
Well, we went over to perform for the military, all the military personnel with the Third Cavalry, with the Third and Third it's called. We went over and performed with them, you know.
And it was a USO tour. It was beautiful to bring the troops over there, a little bit of something fun, something good, you know. And Archie always lights it up, so they had a ball. You know, it was really nice to be a part of just lifting their spirits up a little bit.
Yeah.
We went to about 10 military installations where they had helicopters, tanks, you know, all we were performing for the troops and everybody.
And when we were on the road, we had a Humvee in front with a dude with a fully automatic weapon, and a Humvee in the back with the bus.
Yeah, the bus in the front of the bus was a Humvee with a 50 caliber machine gun in the front and a 50 caliber machine gun in the back. And we left. We flew into Austria and took a bus from Austria to a place called Karlsruhe, Hungary.
Karlsruhe, that's right.
Yeah, we left Karlsruhe, Hungary, and you know, we hooked over the bus and the Humvees and everything. We got over into Hungary, over into Bosnia. But then that's when we picked up the two tanks, two Humvees with the 50 caliber machine guns on. And everywhere we went, we saw the destruction, you know, from places where they been fighting in towns and bombings, and you know, it was really, really amazing. I never was in combat in the military and everything, but when I saw that, I knew what it was probably like, you know.
So Archie, when you were in the military, did you end up going? You didn't go into combat. So where were you when you were serving?
I went to Germany. And everything. And when the guy interviewed me before I left boot camp and everything, but I told him that everybody in my unit went to Vietnam except me and another white guy. And he took that. He thought that I said that I had went with the whole pack, but I went to Germany. Me and another white guy. I went to the 53rd Transportation Company in Germany, Kaiserslautern, Germany. But I never did see any combat. But I got involved in an accident on the Autobahn and broke my left leg, you know.
Oh, that's what happened. It was an accident. Got it.
Yeah, I had to learn how to do it on my good foot.
Well,
and then wasn't there a story, Archie, where like you didn't know that your song had become a hit, and then it's like you saw the cover of the GI magazine or something weird like that?
Yeah, when I was in the Worms hospital, I was in the hospital in Worms, Germany, my nurse was a guy named Beckett, you know, and I used to tell him, I said, "You hear that song on transistor radio?" He said, "I said that's me." And they thought I was lying to you. I told him, I said, "Before I lie to you, I'll fly to you, and I ain't got no wings." And you know, after about a week later, an article came out in the Overseas Weekly, which was a military magazine, said this that I was the singer of the song. You know, everybody believed me then. I couldn't
Yeah,
I couldn't keep
you had it in writing.
yeah, and had it in writing and everything. He said the richest GI in the army since Elvis. Elvis had just left from over there for a couple of years before, you know, before I got over there. But
And
you know,
if I
that's what
remember,
they said.
if I remember correctly, there were fake Archie Bells fronting the band for a while until you recovered fully,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah. There was 9 white boys out of Nashville, Tennessee, Archie Bell and Drells, but back then they didn't have the computer and nobody even knew what we looked like, you know. I ran into a lot of people say, "You're not Archie Bell. Archie Bell is 6 feet tall and he got a process." I said, "No, that's me," you know. You know. Back then they didn't put pictures on the album. You know, they tighten up as a cartoon on the album.
Right.
Yep.
And on the front of the album, on the back, they got a picture on it. But back then, they wasn't putting black artists' pictures on the front of albums and stuff.
So that's interesting. So there could have been like a battle of the bells, you know, like
Yeah,
who's the real Archie Bell?
yeah. They had phony groups breaking out everywhere, you know. I saw a phony Temptation, even saw a phony Aretha Franklin in Florida.
Mm-hmm. What
Looked
was
like
the
Aretha
song?
Franklin. It looked like Aretha Franklin, sang like Aretha Franklin, but it wasn't Aretha Franklin.
So Archie, wasn't the story on Tighten Up that I remember is that you were in a studio next door recording your A side, and that there was a band
So,
next door just jamming,
mm-hmm.
and then
So
you just kind of
what happened was, I got a letter from Uncle Sam on the boy we got drafted in the army. I knew they was gonna get me,
mm-hmm,
and I had an apartment with one of my friends. You know, we were roommates together. I was really depressed. I think I was really one of the most depressed time in my life because I knew they were going to draft me.
mm-hmm.
And about 2 or 3 months before that, I was down there with Muhammad Ali, you know, protesting him going to the military. Now he was after me. And I heard, I was really depressed, and I heard a disc jockey about 2 weeks before that said that nothing good ever came from Texas because of the Kennedy assassination. And I said, it's not true. Archie Bell and Drells from Houston, Texas, and they good. You know, that's why I say hi about them Archie Bell and Drells from Houston, Texas. We not only sing, but we dance as good as we want and everything. But that's why I tell a lot of people know there was something good from Texas, not knowing that the record was going to be as big as it was, you know. But that's how Houston got the name tag put on the album.
right, and that was a B side of the record, right?
Yeah, yeah. Had another song called Dog Eat Dog. Me and a guy named Ray Goss wrote. And then when they sent it to New York, they was playing the B side, playing Dog Eat Dog. Playing Dog Eat Dog because New York was a dog eat dog city. And my manager called me in Germany and told me, they playing Dog Eat Dog. I said, they playing the wrong song. So it was a lady here named Gigi Gladys here. She was a disc jockey with KQH radio station. And, she said they playing the wrong song, and this jockey flipped it over, and it sold like 200,000 copies a week in New York alone, you know. But then after Tighten Up hit so big, they took Doggy Dog put Tighten Up Part 2 on there.
Yeah, that's I love that story, and I love the fact that it hit while you were away, you know, and then you
Right.
got to come back. And did it take a second to like get back into the groove of the music business, or did you come back and just walk right into it?
No, I traveled 2 or 3 times back from Germany to record Atlantic Records with Gamble and Huff. Gamble and Huff did I Can't Stop Dancing. There was gonna be a showdown and everything, but when I was in the Army, I had a little group together. Some guys out of New York, a guy named Eugene Sugar, Chico Santiago. Chico played with Marlo later on, but he's a bass player, and Eugene Sugar was the drummer. And we got together, and I put a little band together in Kaiser Slaughtern. We used to work at a place called Johnny's Kelp Underground. Is a underground club in Kaiser Slaughtern there. There's a black guy who got out of the military and stayed up in Germany. We used to go down there and we call it set the soul sales. But I kept busy, kept back to even when I was in Germany and everything. I didn't miss a lick, but when Tighten Up came out, it was a whole different ball game.
Time to go.
Yeah, time to tighten up.
Time to tighten up.
Yeah, we gotta tighten up. Got to get out of here. We got
Right.
it's fun because we've got some comments coming in. Robbie T, Rob Tovar is saying hello. I can't remember if you met Rob Tovar. Archie, remember when you came back to our office and we did a photo shoot with you? Rob, that's where Dave and I work together.
Yeah.
And Rob is there, so I think Rob might have met you that day. And then you've got a fan. Oh, go ahead.
I said, but then I meet Rob Dave.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did, man. Rob meets everyone, man.
Rob Tovar has to meet everybody, right? And then you've got a fan in Florida. It's Catherine McTeer Chisholm. She says she's been enjoying seeing you since 1984. She's in Florida. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and this is a good time to I'm just going to real quick say that if people have questions or comments or whatever, then, Rob Tovar did have the distinct pleasure of meeting you. You can write in your questions or you can comment in the comment section and then we'll see it. And then we can ask Archie the question if you have a question. So just so you know, we can see your comments and we can see what's going on. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, so Archie, what was the song? Because there was another song that was kind of like a slow ballad that they based that song off of when they were jamming out on Tighten Up.
I'm trying to think if it was a slow song.
You said, there was a slow song that had those major seven.
Love is gonna rain on you.
Love is gonna rain on you. I need to write that down right now because I wanted to ask you that again for so long, man.
Yeah, love is gonna rain on you. That is one that I wrote, when I had one of them heartbreakers,
Yep.
You always go through that, but love is gonna rain on you is the one you're talking about.
But it was an incredible education coming up under you and meeting you at such a young age, man, because I was 22 years old, and you taught me about love. You taught me about having fun, treating people good, and, taught me about gambling. Huff era, you taught me about so much about music in that really pivotal time in my life, man. And I'm, like, forever indebted to you for that and for those days, man.
Right. And you were an excellent guitar player. I couldn't believe it. As young as you was, how good you could play. You play everything. And, you meet some of the young white guys, they play some heavy metal and rock, they can flavor. But if you learn how to play like those guys at Gambling and Huff up there, Philly International and everything, but you was a master. They were some amazing musicians.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Incredible, man.
I love it. Hey, so Archie, you were telling me, and I didn't realize it was coming up so quick, but on Tuesday they're doing the memorial for George Floyd in Houston. Yeah. You've got the memorial coming up.
Yeah. He's from here Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, I think they have the funeral Tuesday and everything, but he grew up in a place called Third Ward.
Third Ward, yeah.
Ward, And the school that he went to, Jack Yates High School, and Phyllis Wheatley was the school that I went to. We used to have a rival every Thanksgiving. Had the largest turnout in the high school football for many, many years. Every Thanksgiving, what they call Thanksgiving Day, they used to have a thing, but they grew up like 100,000 people even at a high school game. But he went to school. He played football at Jack Yates and played basketball and football at Jack Yates, you know. But I
Yeah.
grew up here in Houston where many times guys would have their hands up and the police would shoot them down, you know. So
Sure.
we went through all that kind of stuff, you know.
So you've lived through a lot of the riots, Archie. So my
Yeah,
question is, do you feel like this is different than any of those other times, man? Do you
yeah,
feel like there's
yeah.
going to be some kind of change?
This is the end. This
Think
is
it's
the
it?
end. This is the end. This is as far as it's gonna go, you know, everything because everything just the book stops here. But we've been going through this for almost 400 years,
Yep.
almost 500 years. We've been going through this, but it's everything's gonna change now. Things will never be the same.
How do you know? Do you have, because it seems like you've got this gut instinct about it. How can you tell? Because we want it all to change. We want this to be the change.
Because I lived through all of that. I'm 75 years old. I was born September the 1st, 1944. And I've seen, just like Dr. King said, I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen all kind of things that happen, you know, and everything. But I've seen that. I've been through the racism, and we traveled on the road. We used to travel on the road, and how the police did. And I say most of the people don't realize that Texas is the most prejudiced state in the union.
That's why I left.
Hmm?
That's why I left.
Yeah. Oh, you got a taste of it, huh?
Got everyone. Yeah, man. Everyone was getting pretty weird on me at times, and I was like, man, fuck it. I'm going to Chicago, man. Chicago,
Well,
it's like I mean, it's a very segregated city, man. But it's a type of city where, like downtown, when you meet somebody, you take them as they come, man. It's like there's no prejudgment, not as much prejudgment, you know. It seems.
You just got a little taste of it. I've been living here all my life. I was born in a place called Henderson, Texas. My people moved to Houston when I was 9 months old. You know, and we know it's going to be different. And people all over the world is complaining. I can't breathe. You know, and I'm looking at the Native Americans downtown Denver right now, marching and parade. You know, doing their powwows and stuff.
Yeah, it does feel different, and I'm hopeful. And it sounds like, Archie, you were telling me that there were 60,000 people marching in the street,
Yeah,
right? And totally
yeah,
peacefully. And
right. 60,000. Had a few little incidents, but nothing serious, you know, and everything. But when that many people, that's why I know when that many people show up in Houston, it's just really amazing. That's what the football and basketball be drawing those kind of people, but it's for a different reason now, you know.
yeah, Houston has
All over the world.
All over the world. Yeah,
all
I'm
over.
seeing it in Copenhagen. I'm seeing it all over, man.
That's right.
Yep. So
When
this,
you see Germany come along, well, you know there's got to be something.
I just
After
hope there's some
they
definitive. I mean, because like I spoke to a lot of my elders recently, like through the last week of what's going on. Because my neighborhood has been a freaking nightmare, man. It's been like,
right.
and it's been kind of crazy because the gangbangers have actually been protecting us from the heavy looting. So they've kept our neighborhood kind of cool, but it's been hot, real hot.
Yeah,
So a few blocks away that direction, a few blocks away that direction, you know.
I was talking to Melissa. I was talking to Melissa, and I was saying Chicago been bad like that ever since Al Capone
Al
days. You
Capone.
know,
Well, yeah,
Dr. King said Chicago was one of the most precious places he ever been to. Out of the South, they lived. You know, he lived in Chicago. You know, Boston is the same way. You know,
yeah.
Massachusetts, all the stuff, New York, and all the rest of them. You know, it's time up. It's time up. People are not going to take it anymore.
I
No.
think you're right. I think it's about time. I hope that, you know, this, I mean, it had to build up to this point, but I hope that it finally just clicks into gear where it's just like enough is enough, and that is it.
Yeah. God is not asleep though. God is still with us.
Yep.
He's still here to protect us and everything, but we have to wake up here and get a few things changed, especially with the people we got in the White House up there now.
Starting with the police department.
Amen.
Starting with the
Yeah.
police department,
Like human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mess. It's a mess. And the only thing that changed in the whole game was the cell phone.
Phones. Yeah.
That's the only thing that's changed. People now can videotape shit,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's the phones, and it's also because if you think about it, people have been catching things on footage for a while, on camera for a while, but now I think the social media part of it is really pushing it, because everybody is sharing information now. This time around, everybody's sharing information. Everybody's sharing how to contact the mayor, how to contact this, how to do the right thing, the next thing. And
you can't leave it up. You can't leave it up to the police with their cameras. We got our own cameras to show.
Yeah.
Exactly what happened. Just think if the people went around with George Floyd to show what happened to him. That's happened to many people around the country.
Look at Eric Gardner, New York, 5 years ago.
And Eric Gardner started I Can't Breathe 5 years ago.
Yeah. In New York. Yeah.
There's been thousands of Eric Gardners is the problem. Thousands and
Yeah.
thousands and thousands and thousands. And it's enough is enough. And people, one thing that's inspiring to me is it feels like the younger generation wants to see that change. I feel like, personally, the younger generation does not want inequality. They want to see equal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my fingers are crossed for that, man.
And Obama said to them that it's up to them now. They're
He's
going
right.
to have to fight this battle.
He's right. He's right. So hopefully in the next,
they're going to make a change.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, and I think all of us are making changes, and I feel like this is the first time where everybody's willing to be really uncomfortable. Like I think that footage of Amy Cooper in New York with the dog, and like that was such a shock. So that white people who think that they're not racist, but don't realize that they're not anti-racist, and they don't realize that the privilege, they don't realize all that stuff. Seeing that video kind of makes it so horrible, like so shameful. It makes everybody stop and question what's going on.
Well, I'm going to say, 70 years ago, he would have been like an Emmett Till situation. You know what I mean? 70 years ago would have been a different deal. It's like it's so messed up because she tried to weaponize the police upon him.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Straight up. And, I think and I pray and I hope that it's a new day coming.
And that we'll all be here to see it and bring it in. Hey,
and enjoy it.
Right.
And enjoy it.
We're all on the same page now.
Yeah. And your niece is here, Sadie. You got a niece, Sadie? Sadie Smith?
Yeah.
She's saying, hey, Uncle Archie. She's watching.
Tell her I said tighten up. Got to tighten up. The younger generation got to tighten up.
Listening to that station. That's something.
Mm-hmm. Everybody.
You don't never know who's out there.
Yeah.
You never know who's out there.
Archie gotta tell y'all about his new adventure that he's on.
What's your new adventure, Archie?
CBD on.
Right on.
Yeah, we got a distributor. Maybe one of these guys distributor, But it's something really good, It's for pain. People suffer from pain.
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. It's really something great. I've been using a lot of it, and it's really helping me along, It's all natural. And we just got to do this trip and everything, and we're going to tighten up with CBD on.
Nice, man. What's it called? What kind?
Wakana.
Tighten up Wakana.com.
Tighten up Wakana.com.
I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna make sure I get that website, and I'll put it in the comments so that everybody can get the tighten up CBD oil.
Yeah, I will. I'll get all that to you if you want me to, and you can put it on your website.
I will, Juanita. You just gotta you shoot it to me, and it'll be in. It'll be in.
Okay.
And the people who started is out of Chicago.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Four
black
women,
ladies.
four black women out of Chicago is the one who started.
Nice. Are they have anything to do with a place called Health and Wellness or Soul and Wellness?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's right down the street from me, man. I know those girls.
Yeah,
that's them.
That's them.
Yep.
That's the one.
Nice.
One is a Congress lady. One is a doctor. And what the other one is? Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
awesome. Very
awesome.
cool. Congrats, man.
That's right. Chicago is coming along.
Yes, sir.
We're doing it. Well, and Chicago's missing. Wait, what we need to say?
It costs so much to get a dispensary here in the United States as a black person. Those girls had to go all the way to London, England to open up their business in order to bring it back to the States where other black people could have the opportunity to get in on that too, because hemp used to be they didn't want that. That was illegal to have. But Donald Trump signed that into law. That is all the way across all 50 states. You can purchase that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. My friend actually is working on a documentary about different people that are pulling together people of color to get those to get those dispensaries, and she's working on this film right now. It's actually pretty interesting. I'll share the info with you. I wonder if some of the women that you're talking about are part of this documentary, but that's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, well, they need to let the people that have been the most disenfranchised as a result of the flower need to be the ones that profit off of it the most coming up now, in my opinion.
Yeah, right. Well, that's part of it. Pritzker put some stuff into place to make that happen. So that's what they're taking. Pritzker actually is doing that, so it is helping make that happen. So we'll see how that starts going. But it's another reason for you to come up to Chicago, Archie. Aside from the fact that you're still your show still hasn't officially been canceled at Fitzgerald's for you to come to Chicago and play. I'm gonna hide Dave for a second until he comes back. I'm hiding him. I didn't kick him out. I'm just hiding him.
You're hiding me.
I'm hiding him. Yeah. Sadie's messaging you like crazy on here. She says that she's in college now. And hey, Auntie, she's saying hi. And how are you doing with all the virus? Well, that reminds me, actually, when we were talking before, you were talking about meditating and all the things that you're doing to kind of keep joy alive while you've been stuck at home. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
The only thing you can do really is pray and meditate and relax, And now he's back now.
Sorry about that.
You brought him. I brought him back.
Sorry about that.
We're talking about how Archie's keeping joyful in since the pandemic and staying at home.
Man, Archie could have fun at a funeral, man. Archie's always been the kind of guy that wherever he goes, everything stays cool.
Yeah, that's right. Right, you got to, Being in this business, I've seen so many things, so many people go out on alcohol and drugs. It's enough to scare you,
Mm-hmm.
But I learned that you can't make it out there on drugs and alcohol and everything. You have to keep it tight. Don't lose your cool, and most of all, you got to be humble. You have to be humble and steadfast at what you're doing, know what you're doing, and keep a straight head,
Straight head, know what you're doing, humble. These are all good things. Hey, my friend Patricia in Mexico is saying hello. She's like, wow, Archie, we love you in Mexico. Mexico loves you. Did you ever tour in Mexico?
Thank you. Yeah. It's been a while since I've been in Mexico. I've been Clovis, Mexico. I had some friends in the military in Clovis, Mexico. California, all Seattle, Washington. Yeah, I got a nephew, Ricky Bell. My brother played football with Tampa Bay, USC in Tampa Bay. His son is in Seattle, and he have a son, Ricky Bell the third. You know, check him out. You can find something about that. But that's Ricky Bell. My brother Ricky, who played football,
Okay.
and his son and family.
Cool.
Ricky Bell the junior, Ricky Bell the third.
Lots of Ricky Bells.
Right.
Lots of Ricky Bells. Hey, one of the other things I'm looking at my notes here on things that and it's so funny. I've got the notes that I have for you, Archie, are joy, change, entertain. Those are like my words to remind me of what's up when I'm talking to you. Those are pretty good words. But one of the things that we wanted to talk about was, you said you had some funny stories about my dear friend Andre.
Oh, Andre, yeah, it's real. I call him the smooth daddy. He was a real cool,
The
smooth
smooth
guy.
daddy.
You know? Always, yeah, he was always up tempo and he was just like the regular guy. You know, he was some guy. You know, they get the big head and stuff, but he was like regular, down to earth. Every time you saw him, he was always welcome. Always had a smile. And then last time I was in town, he was sick. You know, he had lost his hearing and everything. I think that kind of messed with him a little bit, but Andre was like a class guy.
Yeah.
He was super class guy, you know.
Well, and there's, he used to play. He played with you at the Continental Club, right?
Yeah, he kind of in Austin and here in Houston too. Me, him, and Roy Head.
Several times.
Several times. We worked together. And,
I bet you turned some heads with you and Andre in those suits.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Andre was a super fly guy. He always was sharp and clean. Me, him, and Roy Head took some pictures out in front of a hotel when I first met him, and got to know him real well and everything. But we always turned the heads. You know, he's one of those ladies' men too. You know, ladies love.
They like y'all was taking pictures out there with them cars. Y'all look like gangsters.
We was taking some pictures about some old cars, and we all looking like gangsters. Andre and me, I wore a cowboy hat.
Especially with Andre.
And Andre was one of those Federa, you know.
Oh, yeah, Andre always wears the fedoras. Yeah, he would always wear his fedora.
Yeah. So Archie, I got a question from on my Facebook page for you, man. Penelope Lewis asked, "Did you make any royalties off of the Tighten Up?"
Sure, that's what keeps me alive today. I'm
still
getting royalties off of Tighten Up.
Isn't that incredible, man?
And a lot of other songs, yeah.
I love hearing that. That's like the opposite of Andre, who ended up not getting anything. I mean, well, and actually, of so many musicians that don't end up getting the royalties.
Yeah, a lot of people. Especially the older guys from back in the 20s and 30s, they didn't get nothing. Got ripped off, you know.
But when Sound Exchange
came along, they started getting, you know.
Yeah.
Sound Exchange got a lot of money for you, you know. On the Groove and Soul Town. Sirius Radio.
Yep.
Interesting. Are you still seeing like BMI and ASCAP money, or are you with BMI?
One of Chapel, BMI, ASCAP. I never was with ASCAP. I was with BMI.
BMI.
One of Time, one of Music.
And I like Sound Exchange better than any of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sound Exchange is better than all. They collect all the royalties. Even for people.
Anything on the internet, anything.
Yeah, they find it. It's funny. Juanita sounds like God because nobody can see her. Nobody can see Juanita right now. And so the voice comes from out of nowhere.
She's sitting away over in another chair across the room.
Right. So
that's the way it's always been when we was traveling on the road. Nobody really knew who I was.
That's how you like it, Juanita.
That's right.
The voice of God, Oz, the woman behind the curtain.
No, she was always the one looking out for Archie, man. And back in the cut, and she will let him know when shit ain't right.
I love it. I love it. So, hey, Archie, one of the things that I love when I listen to your music is hearing it kind of evolve from that 60s kind of fun, dance pop groove. And then you get into the 70s and it gets really funky. It gets like super funky. And I'm wondering, like, if you look back at the eras of your music, like, what's your favorite era? Or what are your personal favorites?
Well, I grew up singing the blues, but all the time I was singing the blues, I was living the blues. I got tired of feeling down and up. I want to do music to lift people up and make them happy and make them party, and everything. But when I first started as a blues singer, most R&B, they separated the music, and if you were black, you see it was R&B, but everything. But I wanted to do something. When I ran into Gamble and Huff, Tighten Up was like a jam, it's like one of those serious jams, a party mill song. And when I ran into Gamble and Huff, I ran into some nice stuff, some nice things too. With the Gamble and Huff, I Can't Stop Dancing, that's going to be a showdown. Mm-hmm. Me and Tom Bell and Huff I wrote the song called Girl, You're Too Young, and we did a song called Houston, Texas. Down in Houston, Texas, near the Mexican border, there's a little girl who made too hard for me. And there are a lot of hit songs we did and everything. But they did a lot of. One thing I like about the stuff that Gamble and Huff did, each one of the songs could have been a song on Broadway in New York.
Sure. Did you do I Never Had It So Good with them, that country tune?
Yeah, that was my first solo album. It was a country song first and everything, but that was my first. I didn't do that with Philly. I did that with a guy named Dave Morris and Roger Melson.
Okay, so that was not Gamble and Huff.
My first solo album was Beckett. It was on a Beckett label. Beckett was a subsidiary of Buddha, and they just released it again. I never had it so good. That was
never had it so good.
Yeah,
you can get it on YouTube now.
Yeah, that's a great tune. And Archie, man, it's a funny story. I was actually up here in Chicago having dinner at this restaurant with my girl, and I ended up meeting this guy named Frankie Donaldson. And Frankie ended up playing on the version on YouTube of Tighten Up that's got the most views. And we just started chit-chatting at the bar, man. What do you do? He's like, oh, I'm a drummer. I was like, oh, I'm a guitar player. He's like, oh, yeah, who you play with?
I met him at the music festival.
Yes, yeah. So
what was the name of the group that he was playing with?
He played with Ramsey Lewis for a long time.
No,
but I don't know the name of the group that was backing you up on that video.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just kind of a weird thing that I was just happened to be sitting there having dinner, and I start chatting with the dude next to me. It turns out it's a dude who played with you in '68.
Yeah, that's right. And everything. I remember that was in Cleveland, Ohio, a place called Leo's. He was a drummer, and I every time I looked at it, I couldn't figure out who the band was because I had just got out of the Army.
Gotcha.
And, I had just got out of the Army, and Skip Lee, my manager, said he hooked us up with this group. I forgot the name of the group, but if you ever see him again, and find out what the name of the group he was playing with.
I will.
I know Sam. I met him. He was at the music festival that day.
Yeah, we took pictures together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was he at the American Music Festival?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at the music. Mm-hmm. And he came up to me and said, "You see this right here? That's me playing drums when I did that thing in Cleveland at Leo."
That's right.
I said, the world is getting smaller and smaller, just like you ran into him in the restaurant.
Yeah, your name came up, and I was like, he's like, I used to play with Archie Bell. I was like, I used to play with Archie Bell. I was like, we looked at each other sideways, man. But we played with you, I think, about 30 years apart. Exactly 30 years apart.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The world is getting smaller every day, and I've been around so many times. Somebody always, always run to me and say, I met a lot of people, just personally and just on a whim, just like how you and I hooked up,
Yeah, and then you come to Chicago, and then you get me as your driver. You get
Yeah,
stuck with me driving you all over Tarnation and Chicago,
yeah.
chatting your ear off, chatting your ear off.
And
Hey,
then too, we went to dinner that day, went to lunch that day, and then we got to the gig. Rain hard, real hard, but everybody was under cover,
It was hot.
It was hot that day, but it rained real good. But the rain, you said it's probably gonna stop. It's not gonna rain all day, So
no.
it rained for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then it stopped and everything. Right after that is when I went on, and when I got on the stage, I looked out of the side. Dave was standing outside of the fence looking inside at me, and everything. I said, how you get out there? I said, how you get out the side of the fence? He's outside of the thing. We're looking in at me from the side. I said, hold on.
I'm slick, baby. I move quick.
Quick. Hey, so Archie, who are some of your favorite collaborators? Like when you've been over the years, you've collaborated with so many different musicians. Like what have been some of your like most magical ones?
Oh, I mean, everybody you can think of.
I know one of them was
a guy named Clifford Curry.
Yeah, up there in DC.
And
me and Mrs. Jones.
Billy Paul. All the people that feel international. OJ, Jerry Butler, Gene Chandler. I work everybody from Muddy Waters to Elvis Presley. Little Richard, everybody you name it, been in show business. I've been on the stage with them on one point or another.
Incredible, man.
It's wild. It's wild.
I could go on for an hour naming people that I met in the groups. Gladys Knight, Rita Franklin, Frida Payne, everybody. Peabo Bryson, Gorgeous George, everybody you can think of.
And then after that began to die down, they had this guy named David Guest.
Yeah.
And he used to get all the entertainers back in the day together and give these huge parties.
Yeah, David Guest,
he was married to Liza Minnelli.
Oh, that David.
Yeah.
Wow.
He used to have shows over in England with 18 artists. 18 artists on the show.
And everybody performed.
And I did that about 4 or 5 times with him, He was a great guy, Like to
Hey,
get
Archie.
him
Archie, your sister says hello. She loves you. Nikki Lynn. I love my brother Archie Bell. I don't know if you could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's telling you that she loves you. There was something, and it popped into my head, and now it went away. And of course. Now I know exactly what I was going to tell you or ask you. So you've been on these stages with all of these amazing people. You've had this amazing life. But how did it start? Because I remember hearing you talk about it starting when you were little and that your mom was into music. And I'm just curious about like that start of it for you.
It started off in the Baptist church about 5 years old. I started singing in church when I was about 5 years old, and my mother sang in church. She could sing in a choir with a full church and everything. You sit in the back of the church, and it always sounded like she was sitting right next to you. She projected out, I always wondered. I asked her, how do you project like that? How do you seem to sound all them other people? She said you have to learn how to sing from your heart and your soul. It took me a while to figure it out, but when I got it together with them, that's what made me who I am.
Well, yeah, because that's what comes through all the time. It's your heart and your soul that's coming out, that's emanating. That's why it's the big party.
That's right. Absolutely.
Now, I remember being in theaters, like these giant theaters, man, you know, maybe 3, 4, 5,000 people theaters, man. And Archie would take the mic down and put it down by his belly and just belt it out. And the theater would just get full with his voice. And I was like, oh, this is real. Like, I'm on stage just like, oh my goodness.
I remember a lot of time I used to do that, and when people, I'd be saying so loud, and people put their hands over their ears. I was messing with the eardrum.
Helen does that now.
Yeah, helping my daughter does that now.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. Right. That's right. When do you think you're going to sing next, Archie? When do you think you're going to get to sing next?
We don't know.
We don't know when this thing is lifted. Get lifted off. I don't know and everything, but I sing in my heart and my soul every day. You know, I can close my eyes and pick up a song. Somebody, it don't have to be my particular song, but I hear a song on the radio. It just brings back memories and everything. There's always music in my mind and in my soul and everything. I be singing all the time. I get a
concert every morning.
You do?
I don't know.
I guess that's your payment. That you get paid in love and music. Ooh, Randy's typing in. Okay, he's giving you lists. He's giving you the whole list. Temptations, Earth, Wind and Fire, James Brown, 1910 Fruit Company, Jackie Wilson, Friends with Lionel Richie and Stevie Wonder.
That's
and then Stevie's favorite Archie tune is "Girl You Too Young."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's Randy bringing it in for us. Thanks, Randy.
Yeah,
you're quite welcome.
His name
Thanks, Randy.
His name
Thanks,
is Gator.
Randy.
Said thanks, Gator.
Gator, call him Gator, just like you call Kenny Skip. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only white Drell that Archie had.
He's the only official white Drell that had made him an official white Drell.
Does he have like a card? Does he have a special card? He's a card carrying white Drell, right? He's got his legal papers.
He got the whole outfit, pictures and all.
He got the whole outfit, pictures and all. We took a picture with him. The Phillips Drell and everything.
Does his card say "Friend of Archie Bell"?
Friend of Archie Bell.
And they call him Disco Randy because we shows in North Carolina. Every time the band would play, every number he played, he was up on the dance floor with the girls. You know.
So does he have your moves? Does he have as good of moves as Archie's? Oh, there's the phone's going off. I don't know, Randy. You can type in there, Randy. You let us know if you have.
Somebody just called me.
Oh, if I wonder if his moves are as good as yours. So, Randy, you tell us. We're still on. We can hear you. We can hear you. We can see you. Can you still hear us and see us?
Are we still on?
You are. We are. Can you hear us?
There?
We are.
Archie just got a phone call. It might have messed up.
I wonder. It might have like clicked him off. Oh.
Come on, Juanita. We need you.
Juanita. Oh, wait a minute. What's happening? We're still here. We're still here, Juanita.
Okay.
Yep.
Somebody tried to call and the sound went away.
No worries.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. They don't know. They probably they don't know that you're on Facebook doing a thing. Can you see us again now?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Nikki Lynn is Nikita, his baby sister.
Yeah, Nikita.
Yeah.
Can you see Archie real good?
Yeah.
We can see Archie great.
All good.
Yeah. Hey, for people out there who are watching, if you have any like fan questions for the wonderful Archie Bell. Ooh, let's see. Roger's on here.
They just only can hear.
Ooh, my Roger's saying my favorite Archie Bell song is "Without You," and I never had it so good.
Roger who?
Meltzer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Okay, back on. Okay, Randy's tuning in to let us know whether he hears you or sees you. But now you're back on. You're totally back on. So what else have
can y'all can they see Archie?
Oh yeah, we can see you.
Or they just can hear?
No, see and hear.
Oh, let me stop talking.
Juanita, don't lie to us. You're going to keep talking this whole time. We expect it of you, right?
Okay.
Juanita, what's your favorite Archie story? Do you have a favorite?
My favorite song is "Girl, You're Too Young."
Girl,
because
You're Too Young.
I was too young.
When we met, she was you ever say 15 to get to 30, baby. She was a teenager when I first met her, but teenagers grow up to be women. You know, girls grow up to be women. But
Juanita, did you?
I was in Raleigh, North Carolina at a homemaking convention. At the Holiday Inn downtown Raleigh, North Carolina's Round Holiday Inn. And we had just got in, the bus pulled in, and I got to lay down in the bed at about 7 in the morning. Somebody knocked, come on the door. I was doing about 30 little girls.
Y'all wasn't laying down. Y'all was in the hotel lobby, I mean, suite, because they was trying to get some rooms for y'all because we was leaving.
And everything, but that's how I met her and everything. She was on a little chocolate drop in a whole bunch of them.
With the Futures of the Homemakers a convention, I was already been trained to be a future homemaker.
Wow. And did you know of Archie before you met him? Did you know who he was?
Yes, so I was dying to get down there to get me an autograph, hon.
She wanted to make a home.
I was determined I was gonna get that autograph. And my cousin reminded me about a couple of months ago. He said, "You know what? I can remember when you used to tell us that's gonna be my husband. That's gonna be my husband." He said, "Juanita, it turned out to be your husband." Yep. I had no idea I would be in Houston, Texas.
Hey, Juanita, you can't fight fate.
Nope. Nope.
I don't
know.
Was it fate or was it just
I said you can't fight fate. That's what I said.
That's right. You can't fight it. Because if
you can't fight it.
It's gonna be. And that was meant to be.
But you should have told me first.
Hey, the guy is always the last to know.
Yeah, she should have walked up and said, "I'm gonna marry you one day," and everything. I said, "Yeah, okay."
You probably wouldn't have paid it no attention.
Probably wouldn't.
You had so many ladies out there then, so you wasn't worried about it then.
No.
You was a man, Mr. Tighten Up. You really got to tighten up now, y'all.
That's right. With this man up there in the White House and this pandemic we going through and everything.
Shoot.
We
really got to tighten up.
Got to go.
That's got to be maybe that's our new slogan: tighten up in 2020.
Yes, y'all really got to tighten up now.
Tighten up.
Make me some T-shirts. Say y'all really got to tighten up.
Y'all really, tighten up for real. Tighten up for real.
For sure.
I gotta get some tighten up on some masks. Have print tighten up on some masks. You know that?
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Some tighten up masks to go with the tighten up CBD oil, and then we've got we could start a whole empire, a tighten up empire.
Okay. For real.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh, Randy's sharing another little tidbit. When Lionel Richie was in college, he used to slip backstage to party with Archie Bell and the Drells.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah. Really true. I ain't been able to catch up with him since then, though. I've been trying to get in touch with him, but he been hiding from me. You know, I get a message to his people, but they probably never even give it to you know.
Yeah.
And we used to work at a place called the Nile Club in Tuskegee, Alabama, and the Commodores was a house band. You know, we used to have battles when we go there. When we come to town, they said, we got to tighten up because the building is going to be bringing some smoke. They're going to be tightening up and everything. But Donna's a really good guy. Hell of a songwriter.
He is.
Hell of a gentleman. I love all of his stuff.
I'm a big sucker for All Night Long. That song, All Night Long.
Yeah.
I'm, you know, but I'm an 80s girl. What can I say? You can't be an 80s girl and not love the Commodores and Lionel Richie, right?
That's right.
I like Easy Like Sunday Morning and Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when they was going in the studio doing these songs and putting this stuff down, it was like they was having a party.
Yeah.
And they was having a good time, and you could feel it in the music. Now you don't feel that, and you don't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's missing.
Well, that's why the music. That's why your music, Archie, stays so strong with people, because you put on that song, and immediately everybody goes crazy.
Sure.
They start want to get up and dance.
Well, Juanita, you know, the music is a representation of the times. You know what I mean? And we're going through some messed up time. Yo, what's up?
I really miss you, man.
I miss you, my bro. It's really, really good to see your face again, man.
Yeah, that's a pleasure too. You know, we can get together soon.
I hope so.
Dave, if this old virus hadn't came in, he would have came up there for the big party they have.
American music, man. Yeah, man. Man. You came at my life at a very pivotal time when I was learning. Yeah. You know, I was a sponge, and I just I'm deeply indebted to you for just being who you are and teaching me what you've taught me, and just more so just by walking the walk than anything else, man. And I appreciate you very much, Archie.
You taught me a lot of things too, because I run into a lot of bad musicians and everything. But you a young man, you always let me know and say these young cats got their stuff together, you know, and not play just one thing, play all kind of music and all kind of instruments. That's why I used to always tell them, man, you got to learn how to play everything. Mm-hmm. Whether you're playing in a circles or in a band, you know, you got to learn how to jam. You got to learn how to tighten up.
Get down, baby. Yeah, I miss you too, Archie. Thanks, man. It's been you know, it's been too long, but I'm glad we got to see each other last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a blast. That was a blast, and I'm lucky because I get to know both of you guys.
Yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah.
Right? It's so weird. And Dave, the next time I see you, we're gonna have another push-up challenge, and I'm gonna have to kick your ass again, man.
Hey, this girl had me on the floor doing 50 push-ups in a row, Archie.
That's my girl.
My belly hurt for 3 days afterwards, man. I was like, oh, why did I do that?
Don't let them scare you, Dave.
Oh no, she wins every time, man. I ain't trying to mess with that.
I know it.
Yeah.
Too good. Yeah, I mean, I've been a lot of places, but I never had a woman to take me around in Chicago. You know, I've been in Chicago many, many times. Mm-hmm. But Melissa took good care of me and everything.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, and now I'm your bodyguard.
If she wasn't tied down to Chicago, I'd get her to take on the road with me.
Archie has cousins that live there in Chicago.
Yeah, I got a relative who lives in Chicago, south side of Chicago.
Yeah, when I first moved here, I was trying to get him into Country Club Hills Theater, like trying to do some sort of some gig up there, and it just got weird with the communication. But that could be a real good venue if they're still, you know, after things get going back again, you know.
Well, had you been doing anything before this pandemic started?
Man, in terms of what? I've been doing everything, Archie. You know me, I'm a doer.
Yeah.
I've been doing, you know.
Something with Oprah Winfrey for a while.
Yeah. Well, the music director for Oprah and myself put a new music licensing company together to license music for film and television. And that's what Melissa knows me, because I've been working out of this place called 2112 with Parker 3 days a week with our interns. Mm-hmm. And so we're pushing that and we're building that real hard. And then on the other side, I'm just doing a lot of session work out of my studio. I'm playing with my group when I can. And right now we're doing live streams just to try and get some change coming in, you know, which is working. I thank God, man. It's like it's sometimes better than a gig. Sometimes it's twice better than a gig.
That's right.
So I'll take it, you know. So it's a new world, man. Everything's shifting, everything's changing, and I think that some of these changes are actually going to keep on rolling with us into the future, like the live streaming and that kind of stuff. Like, why not live stream your gig to somebody in the UK where they can tip you if they want?
All you gotta do is when things change, you make a change with them. Go with the flow.
Yep. Amen. You got to be the river, not the dam, Archie.
That's right.
River, not the dam.
That's a good one. I got to use that one.
That's yours. It's from me to you, man.
Oh, this has been so much fun.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy, Dave, that you could make it on with Archie.
Me too. Thank you.
So great. And Archie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with everybody. Do you have any last words, last gems of wisdom to share with us?
That's the best thing you could have done. You hooked Dave up with me because we've been praying for a long, long time. You know,
since the day we met.
And I really appreciate you and everything that you stand for, and all the people that supported me through these many, many years. I really thank you. You know,
we love you, man.
We love you. Everybody loves you.
I love everybody too.
Oh, and Juanita, we love you.
Oh, always. Same here. Long distance hugs.
There you go.
Long distance hugs.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me be a part of this, Melissa. I appreciate it very much.
Oh, you're welcome, Dave. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Archie. Big love to both of you.
All right, love y'all. Take good care, Archie. Thank you, my brother. Stay tough. Hang tough.
I'll be seeing you soon, Dave.
My man. All right, let me know when you're coming.